Hi, I'm Mateja Horvat, a teacher and the founder of SpeakCRO. Since I've been a child, I have loved everything that had to do with languages, both Croatian language and foreign languages. Everything that had to do with learning about different cultures, different countries, different people, in general, the world that we live in. So studying Croatian language and culture and also sociology has been quite a logical step for me. Later on, in 2011, I have decided to start my own business of teaching Croatian as a second language, which my friends back then thought it was a quite crazy idea. From their point of view, it was like, who would want to learn Croatian and why? And really, I can tell that the world was a little bit different place back then than what it is now. When I would Google learn Croatian, there were very, very few results. And as far as I know, none of them were online. And I personally knew nobody who has been learning, teaching Croatian as a second language as their job. Still, I decided to give it a go, and it didn't take long for my schedule to be full, not being able to fit any more new students into my schedule. As my students would have a friend or a family member who would also like to learn. It was literally spreading by word of mouth, which of course made me very, very, very happy. In that point, the logical next step would be employing one more teacher to work with me, which actually took me a while to decide to do that, as I just wanted to do what I love to do, and that was teaching, being a teacher. Still, I did decide to employ one more teacher, and later on one more, and now we are all together working, preparing teaching materials, videos, quizzes, all sorts of games, and many, many creative things. In a way, I could say that we are doing something very similar, like I was doing as a child with my friends during summer holidays, having a lot of fun doing it. Just now, that is my job, which makes me feel like the luckiest person in the world. I can also say that my students have changed my life. I often feel like I have learned from them more than they have learned from me. The thing is that our lessons are individual and tailor-made, so there is quite a lot of room to develop beautiful personal relationships, beautiful friendships. I would get to learn quite a lot about everyday life of a businessman in Canada, of university professor in Australia, of architect in United States, of woman living in Dubai, which was and still is mind-blowing for me, literally life-changing experience. I can say that in that way, before I've started to travel a little bit more, my students have been fantastic, beautiful window into the world for me. Of course, on the other hand, I have been a window into Croatian way of life, into Croatian culture, etc. for my students. As I think that learning a language, any language, should be much more than just learning vocabulary and grammar. And I would say that's what we do with our students. So often we would prepare together for conversations that they were planning to have with their relatives once they come for vacations to Croatia, or for business meetings, or for situations like a guy falling in love with a Croatian girl, and then we would prepare together for his first conversation that he would have with his future mother-in-law. Many of beautiful and very special, priceless moments. Sometimes I would even get invited to family gatherings, to the family encounters. Sometimes people even meeting their relatives for the first time in their lives, meeting live in person, which would sometimes get very emotional. And of course, it would be a huge privilege and huge honor for me to be able to be part of something like that. Majority of my students also sooner or later come to Croatia, so we get to know in person, which I hope will also be the case with our future students. I have also visited many of my students, which eventually became friends in countries where they live. Luckily now my job is entirely online, so I can work from literally wherever in the world. Which is beyond my craziest dreams. And well, that makes me feel very happy, very lucky, and very grateful. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you're enjoying materials that we are putting to our website and to our social media. And well, if you want to learn Croatian with us, we are here. Hvala.